Microgravity environment for space missions of ISRO like PSLV C-60 SpaceX POM-4 missions. Cowpea seeds are selected, and they found it is suitable for short-term plant growth experiment in orbit. And cowpea seeds growing in microgravity environment can be grown under 5 to 7 days, and this is what makes more suitable for experiment. And another feature of cowpea is that it is more tolerant for sandy soil and low rainfall. That is what made it very suitable crop in areas like semi-arid regions across Africa and Asia. And cowpea plant root nodules are able to fix atmospheric nitrogen. Parker Solar Probe. It is the first mission to touch the sun and became the first spacecraft to fly through the corona, the sun's upper atmosphere, in 2021. And this spacecraft is well within the orbit of Mercury. Typhoon, and it is referred as a strategic mid-range fire system, is United States Army transporter launcher for standard SM-6 Tomahawk missiles. Terminal High Altitude Area Defense is an American anti-ballistic missile defense system designed to intercept and destroy short and medium intermediate range ballistic missiles in their terminal phase. So this carries no warhead to destroy ballistic missiles. It uses just kinetic energy. SpaceX mission objective. Its mission's objective is to demonstrate the technology needed for docking and undocking of small spacecrafts in low Earth circular orbit. And main technological objectives are transfer of electric power between docked spacecrafts, which is essential application, and other objectives like spacecraft control and payload operations. Non-hormonal therapy. National Institute of Nutrition researcher Vandana Singh granted patent for developing menopause care formulation by using indigenous grass species as an ingredient in non-hormonal therapy. So very important patent regarding indigenous grass species used for menopause care. Biobanking issues. UK, US, Japan, China and other European countries have laws for regulations to address several biobanking issues. But at present, India's regulations of biobank is inconsistent. So question can come that any regulatory laws are present in India for biobanking. So recently Reserve Bank of India announced a constitution of committee for developing a framework for responsible and ethical enablement of artificial intelligence in the financial sector. So this committee is constituted by Reserve Bank of India. Here the statement is very important. Mitochondrial DNA deletion, mutation, chimeric mRNA are very useful predictors of biological age. Remember, very good predictor of biological age. So they can help in researching or developing new ways to delay age-related issues in mitochondrial DNA quality. Rupur nuclear power plant is a nuclear power plant project in Bangladesh, and it is first country's nuclear power plant. Here, amylid active matrix organic light emitting diode, the type of OLED display device technology, where the thin film display technology in which organic compounds form electroluminescent material. So this kind of material is what this. And since 2007, AMOLED technology has been used in mobile phones, media players, TVs and digital cameras. Here GenCast, a kind of artificial intelligence model that forecasts the weather. So this is GenCast of forecasting weather by artificial intelligence. Boom, a floating barrier. You can say this is physical barrier, floats on water to contain oil spills. Quantum satellite is a kind of a communication satellite which uses quantum physics to secure its satellite signals, right, and establish quantum communication over longer distance. And countries which are developing these quantum satellites are China, United States, European Union, India, Germany, Canada, Netherlands. Boron nitride. Scientists from Center for Nano and Soft Matter Sciences, Bangalore, come up with a novel strategy to control and regulate infrared radiation, because boron nitride is used in preparation of high temperature material, because it is excellent electrical resistivity and excellent high thermal stability and high surface area and chemical stability made it development of the catalysis. So these are the positive points regarding boron nitride, which makes it suitable for making these kind of materials. Pharmacogenomics is a study of how person's DNA gets affected in response to drugs. So this pharmacogenomics develops safe and effective medications that can be given in terms of personalized medicine according to the person's genetic makeup. So once they know how person's DNA is getting affected by different drugs, based on those data they develop which is more effective for the person. Ergo's value added services. These services are as well earth observation data, or you can say modeling and artificial intelligence to provide adaptable smart environment solutions. This is what Ergo services is, and further we discuss regarding this. The services provide the means for scientists to enhance their understanding in terms of environment and administration and regulate different challenges of regarding environment, and also effectively manage water resources and maintain food security. Here Roctavian is a one-time gene therapy treatment for hemophilia A. It's a rare bleeding disorder. So the therapy name is Roctavian. Biomarker measures or captures what's happening in a cell, and it releases some compounds which helps to understand what is the condition of this cell. For example, high level of lead in the bloodstream may indicate need to test for nervous system and cognitive disorder. This is what biomarker significance is. For example, the diagnosis done based on urine sample, blood sample, like that. Other biomarkers are also present rather than just bloodstream or urine. Solid phase recycling and simultaneous alloying method. This is a innovative process to enable the alloying of aluminum scrap with copper, zinc and magnesium to form a nanocluster which strengthen the high performance aluminum alloy, which akin to 7075 aluminum alloy. Indian scientists develop novel gene therapy for hemophilia, and this gene therapy is what main important, because hemophilia is something which is related to blood clotting disorders, and mostly hemophilia caused because of lack of blood clotting factors in the blood. So it leads to lot of loss of blood, and India is the world's second largest patient pool. At present, if anything is there for treatment which is approved, that is Roctavian gene therapy, which uses or transports the therapeutic gene into the body by using adenovirus as a carrier or a vector, or you can say vehicle, to transport therapeutic genes in the body to treat this hemophilia. Here Japanese company to demo futuristic bathing capsule. So it is a demo based on AI powered bathing capsule that can clean and dry off people who sit inside. So is this possible by technology? There will be a statement in questions like AI powered bathing capsule. Is it possible or not? Whether you agree with this statement or not, but it is possible, right? 3D images of fetal brain, right? The Indian Institute of Technology Madras released detailed 3D images of fetal brain, and this data set is named as Dharani, and it is available to researchers as a open source portal. So remember this, it is open source portal. Age extend. Aging involves what kind of a metabolic changes which leads to reduced cellular fitness, and the role of many metabolites in the aging is still unclear. So to understand them and their mechanisms, it involves geroprotective molecules, and which reveals insights into metabolic network and how it is regulated aging. So this artificial platform called Age Extend, which is a AI based multimodal geroprotector prediction platform for leveraging bioactivity data for known geroprotectors. So here main important thing is the molecules, that is geroprotective molecules, which gives insights regarding aging metabolic regulations. Aeroponics. Aeroponics is a method of growing plants without soil. So instead, roots are suspended and irrigated with nutrient dense mist. So different from hydroponics, where plants roots are submerged in solution, of water and nutrition. In aeroponics, the roots have greater access to oxygen, and which results in healthier plants and faster growth. How this aeroponics plant growth system gets nutrition is by dense mist. Genetically modified malaria parasites. This is a way of controlling, malaria. Here, how genetically modified malaria, controls the things is that they prime the immune system during the initial stage of their life cycle. So they interfere in life cycle such a way that that malaria gets controlled. There are two vaccines against malaria which rolled out in Africa. Besides this kind of vaccines, this is a unique method of controlling malaria where you engineer mosquito slows the growth of malaria causing parasites. So you modify the way mosquito genetically is in a such a way that the growth of malaria causing parasite in the gut get reduced. So transmission of malaria to humans get reduced. Another way is radiation sterilized male mosquito, which prevents eggs from hatching. So for this they study very well how the life cycle of mosquitoes are, so that where they can interfere, that they can take advantage to control their population. GenCast is a kind of predictor of weather and the risk of extreme conditions with state-of-the-art accuracy. So it is a weather predictor. AlphaFold 3. So it predicts the structure and interaction of molecules. So it is kind of a AI model developed by Google DeepMind and Isomorphic Labs. Electrophoresis is a technique which used to separate what? DNA, RNA, protein molecules based on their size, but applied by electrical charge. So question can be asked, what this technology is used for? Separating DNA, RNA and protein molecules. Proba 3, a technology demonstration of European Space Agency, where it is the first kind of world's first precision formation flying mission, where a pair of satellites will fly together by maintaining a configured distance as a rigid structure in space, and main objective is that which will open the continuous views of sun's faint corona and surrounding atmosphere for scientific observation. The Sikorsky SH-60 is a twin turboshaft engine or multi-mission US Navy helicopter which is developed by Sikorsky Aircraft Corporation and Lockheed Martin. Hydroponics. Here you understand hydroponics techniques are a growing plants using water-based nutrient solution, right, rather than soil. Here actually the hydroponics use a kind of a media, right, in the solution, and that media names are vermiculite, coconut coir, perlite. So these are names of medium which are involved in hydroponics. And vegetable types grown in hydroponics are cucumber, lettuce, peppers, tomatoes. Chicago Pile 1 was the world's first artificial nuclear reactor and the first human-made self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction initiated in Cape 1, and this is achievement for the Manhattan Project, and importantly developed by Metallurgical Laboratory at the University of Chicago. Biogenic substance is a product made by life forms. So originally specific to metabolite compounds which is made by life forms. Or secretions of plants or animals can said to be or referred to be biomolecules. Bioinoculants, these are beneficial rhizophoric and endophytic microbes to promote what? Promote plant health, right? And it improves soil health, nutrition mobilization plants, solubilization of those nutrients, and soil decontamination and detoxification. Battery energy storage system is a type of energy storage technology which uses group of batteries to store electrical energy. Their applications are like short-term peak power and minimize the chance of power outages. Another advantage is that it can share the same grid connection to reduce the cost. Real-time geostrophic oceanography BIOS. It is a kind of profiling floats. You can see here in the image. So this profiling floats known as Argo. So it is a planned major component of the ocean observing system. So builds on the existing upper ocean thermal networks, which is for understanding of pattern of ocean climate variability, including heat and fresh water storage and transport. Superconductivity is discovered at very low densities in slightly misaligned graphene. So this is important here. In graphene they observed superconductivity. So despite extreme low electronic density. Next one. India tests submarine launched ballistic missile which is capable of range 3500 km for a nuclear powered submarine in the Bay of Bengal. Now that missile is K4 missile. Now regarding this, different countries are in advance in this technology, that is Russia, China in developing hypersonic missiles, while US is in process of developing a range of such weapons under an ambitious program. The infinitely variable automatic transmission system describes a simple gear system. It is an invention of the simple gear system by connecting two differential gear units in a particular manner that it gives a simple gear system, which replaces step-by-step acceleration of traditional automatic gear system which we are using in automobile. Now this smooth acceleration eliminates the risk of engine overload. So this is the advantage of this new invention. which is a high fuel efficiency, minimum air pollution with no loss of energy. And this kind of technology is very much suitable for heavy machinery like earth moving equipment, which requires very high gear ratio to start before to increase their speed. The ICAR, Indian Institute of Oilseed Research, signed memorandum of understanding with the two private seed companies on commercialized patented biopolymer based seed coating technology. And this technology is to protect nutrient mobilizing microbes, thereby helping farmers get improved crop yield. What is the main advantages of coating biopolymer composition is that it releases the active ingredient gradually so that they can reach up to the required level of nutrition without loss. Web scraping is a computer technique that automatically extracts data from websites. Nanoplastia is a hair treatment which involves applying of solution to the hair and then using heat to seal it. Fatty acid methyl esters are a type of fatty acid ester that are derived by trans-esterification of fats with methanol. And this is in news because of several ships in Singapore reported operational problems because of using marine fuel which is blended with cashew nut shell liquid biofuel. And this cashew nut shell liquid is a non-fame, or you can say fatty acid methyl ester, which is a byproduct of cashew nut industry. Blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger that securely stores records across a network of computers in such a way that is transparent, immutable, resistant to any kind of tampering, and that block contains data in a network are linked in a chronological chain. The LC16M8 Mpox vaccine, it is a second Mpox vaccine to be supported by World Health Organization, and this vaccine is a live attenuated vaccine. So this is freeze dried cell culture smallpox vaccine. It is manufactured by growing live vaccinia virus in what? In rabbit kidney cells by diluting the obtained virus solution. So that is why this vaccine is live attenuated vaccine. Flexible fuel vehicles, it is an internal combustion engine where it is capable of operating on gasoline and with blend of ethanol up to 83%. So this flexibility of blending different fuels is what flexible fuel vehicle is. The MGM-140 Army Tactical Missile System, so is a supersonic tactical ballistic missile designed and manufactured by US defense company Lintamco Ward and later Lockheed Martin. Cloud service, here India Central Bank launched a pilot program in 2025 to offer local cloud data storage. So to the financial firms at affordable price for the data storage, where this platform will use local IT firms against the similar nature of platforms like Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, initiative from major global central banks. So this data localization is a partnership with local IT firms for in the central bank's push for localization of payment and of financial data. Lithium ion batteries consist of LiCoO2 and graphite, which is popularly used in mobile phones, laptop computers, and different electronic devices. The main advantage of lithium ion battery is that the operating voltage of the battery can be designed by choice of insertion reaction in terms of operating voltage and its charge discharge profile. Hypersonic missile. Defense Research and Development Organization conducted a successful flight test of long range hypersonic missile. After this, India is among the selected group of nations including United States, Russia and China, and this tested missile can carry payload and the range of 1500 kilometers. Optical biosensors are a kind of analytical tools that use biorecognition element and optical sensing technology. Mostly it is like optical sensing technology, which is a kind of a label free detection. In other techniques they have to be labeled with some other with different dyes, antigens and biomarkers, etc. But in optical biosensor it is label free detection, and its applications in biomedical research, environmental monitoring, food safety and home testing. Nuclear fusion is the process by which two light atomic nuclei combine to form what single heavier one, which releases a massive amount of energy. This is what nuclear fusion is. And this fusion reaction takes place in a state of plasma, or it can be said as a hot charged gas made of positive ions or a free moving electrons with unique properties which are different from the solid, liquid or gases. Nirbhaya is a long range all weather subsonic cruise missile developed in India by Aeronautical Development Establishment, which is under the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Here 3D environment affects bacterial growth. It is a study being done from the National Center for Biological Sciences to study whether using 3D models to investigate how bacteria grow or survive in different physical environment. And they find that the shape of a bacteria can significantly influence its ability to endure and thrive. Only I am talking about shape of bacteria itself influence this endure or thrive in an environment. It involves a different view on 3D environment, or you can say on bacterial ecosystem. That means that physical environment of a bacteria can directly affect or act as a potent selective pressure for favoring certain kind of species over the others in a highly predictable manner. The thing is that we know till now how bacteria gets affected because of mutations, chemical signals or behavior patterns, but this shape of bacteria affecting its ability to survive is a new thing. The Xi'an H-6 is a twin-engine jet bomber of Chinese People Liberation Army Air Force. Dual-use technology. Dual-use items refers to goods and software and technology that can be used for both civilian and military application. What is Voyager 2 is the second spacecraft to enter interstellar space. So on December 10th, 2018, the spacecraft joined twin Voyager 1 as the only human-made object to enter that space, and they discovered moons and the great dark spot. Carbon 14 dating, the method of age determination that depends upon decay to nitrogen of radiocarbon. So this carbon 14 is formed in nature when neutrons interact with nitrogen 14 in Earth's atmosphere. So this is applied in different fields: human health, drug trafficking, natural products, sustainable fuels, ecosystem disturbance. Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launch system is produced or developed by Defense Research and Development Organization. Sustainable aviation fuel. So fuel made from renewable biomass and waste resources have the potential performance up to petroleum based jet fuel. So that is what can give the airlines a solid footing for decoupling greenhouse gas. So this can be made from different resources like corn grain, oil seeds, algae, other food oil and greases, agricultural residues, forestry residue, wood mill waste, municipal solid waste streams, wet waste, dedicated energy crops. The Dassault Rafale is a French twin engine, which is a kind of 4.5 generation aircraft, and this Dassault Rafale is capable of striking anti-ship strike nuclear deterrence missions. The McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle is an American twin-engine all-weather fighter aircraft designed by McDonnell Douglas. Ballast water treatments is a system designed to remove destroy inactive biological organisms such as zooplankton, algal bacteria from ballast water. Next generation warships. Here Kolkata based defense public sector undertaking Guardian Reach shipbuilders and engineers announced that it is currently in the process to build 4 next generation warships for the Indian Navy. High purity hydrogen is produced from syngas and off-gas streams using absorbents tailored for removing multiple impurities in one process step at ambient temperature. And regarding this, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited announced that its HP Green R&D Center in Bangalore achieved that by completing indigenization of hydrogen pressure swing absorption Biotechnology. The two cardamom varieties developed by Kodagu-based regional station of Indian Institute of Spices Research, and these varieties names are IISR Manushree and IISR Kaveri, having characteristic feature of drought tolerance. Okay. TNPB's editing, which is a system achieves 33% editing efficiency in average plant genome on targets where that Cas9 and Cas12 couldn't reach. So they demonstrated the genome editor effect in both flowering plants, monocots and dicots. So you have to remember this TNPB, which is more efficient than Cas9 and Cas12. Synthetic medical images, what is this? It is a generated of AI technology or computer algorithms without capturing data from images of MRI, CT scan or X-rays. So entirely constructed using mathematical models or AI techniques. Codon optimization is evolved to enhance protein expression efficiency by exploiting the genetic code redundancy, which allows for multiple codon options for a single amino acid. And this codon optimization is applied in biopharmaceuticals, vaccine development, adjusting immune responses in gene therapies, and to create tissue specific therapies. In this way, recently vaccine maker Indian Immunologicals and Indian Council of Medical Research signed a memorandum of agreement for clinical development of the country's first codon D optimized live attenuated Zika vaccine. Interactive voice response, it is a kind of information sending where automated telephone system technology enables caller to receive or provide information without speaking to live agent. It just make requests using voice or menu inputs, which is powered by pre-recorded messaging. Platform as a service, it is a kind of a model of technology where developers essentially depends upon or rent upon the needs they want to build or a kind of application they want to build upon. They depend on other platforms to fulfill their needs like web application development or cloud services or different tools, digital infrastructure and operating systems, where all kinds of demanded features are back-end management kind of a rental agreement where they update whatever technological updation features they need in terms of services to the customer, and the user will not develop these kind of things, where they remain as a platform as a service. Stereotactic radiotherapy, it gives therapy from many different angles around the body in such a way that tumor receives high dose of radiation. This high dose of radiation receiving is what main feature of stereotactic radiotherapy around the tissues. It receives much lower dose. It has to protect tissue which are normal in function. Solid propellant rocket is a rocket with rocket engine that uses solid propellants or a fuel or oxidizer. And the earliest rockets once used solid fuel rockets powered by gunpowder, and this is powered by fuel and oxidizer. Since solid fuel rockets remain in storage for extended period without much propellant degradation, so this is advantage of solid fuel rockets. The Pan-African E-Network project, it is launched by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in February 26, 2009 under the Pan-Africa E-Network project to provide satellite connectivity, telemedicine, tele-education to countries of Africa. Aadhaar enabled payment system, a working group on micro ATM standards and central infrastructure and connectivity submitted a report to RBI about its efficiency and inscription, and its main objective is to empower bank customer to use Aadhaar for deposit, cash withdrawal, interbank fund transfer, balance inquiry, and obtaining mini statement through business correspondent. Skunda CTL is a synthetic fuel plant owned by Sasol in South Africa, and it is largest coal liquefaction plant and the largest single emitter of greenhouse gas in the world. Important to anticipate RNA. Why? Because RNA viruses evolve faster, mutate rapidly, adapt quickly to new conditions in nature. A suborbital space flight. Chinese startup is to sell tickets for 2027 space tourism flights, where this flight will be take place under suborbital level, which is not going to cross the escape velocity. Neither it is going to complete any orbital revolution, neither it is going to be an artificial satellite. Cobenfy is the first antipsychotic drug to treat schizophrenia by treating cholinergic receptors instead of dopamine receptors. So this is what unique is. They targeted cholinergic receptors. So actually main thing, any drug comes with mostly dopamine receptors targeting ones, but it is uniquely cholinergic receptors targeting. Typhoid conjugate vaccine. Here Zydus Life Science Limited got in principle acceptability from World Health Organization for its conjugate vaccine ZY-VAC-TCV, made it eligible for purchase by United Nations Procurement Agency. And main thing is that it indicated for active immunization against Salmonella typhi infection. And another point is that in South Asian region, India itself contributes 75% of incidence and mortality due to typhoid fever. Intelsat 33E is high throughput geostationary communication satellite operated by Intelsat. So you have to remember that it is a geostationary communication satellite. Oxygen cylinders. Oxygen cylinders can be used in liquid rocket propellant for rocket engines, medical breathing as oxygen therapy, and welding equipment. So these are the applications of oxygen cylinders in various things. Phytotechnologies, it refers to the use of plants to address contamination in the environment, including soil, groundwater, surface water, sediment, and waste streams such as lactic acid mine, drainage, and wastewater. Liquid biofertilizers are opposite to kind of inorganic fertilizers. So here liquid biofertilizers are a formation of kind of bacteria, fungi, blue-green algae. Examples: rhizobium for nitrogen fixation in legumes, azotobacter for non-leguminous plants, azospirillum for rice along with phosphate solubilizing bacteria and potash mineralizing strains. Organs on chips. The kind of system contains engineered or natural miniature tissues. So here tissues are engineered, are grown in microfluidic chips. So this is what the uniqueness of the organ on chips. This is to mimic human physiology, and this gives the advantage for gives a controlled cell microenvironment, and this environment can be utilized for different applications like drug testing and maintain to understand tissues functions. Monkeypox vaccine. Here Bavarian Nordic announced its commercial launch of Genios, which is a smallpox and monkeypox vaccine. It is live plus non-replicating. So here it is non-replicating and weakened version of the vaccine virus, so that it can't copy itself in human cells or to spread other people or other parts of the body. So this is what the uniqueness of this vaccine. So they can ask the question, this is a vaccine name and what is the nature of this vaccine, whether it is live, what is dead vaccine or what. 3D bioprinting is a technology where bio inks mixed with living cells. So it is printed in 3D to construct natural tissue like three-dimensional structures. So these kind of structures can be used in tissue engineering and drug development. F-18 Super Hornet is newest highly capable tactical aircraft in US Navy. It delivers cutting-edge next-generation multi-role strike fighter capability. So this is the word you need to understand by F-18 Super Hornet. It is an aircraft of Navy, US Navy. Radio frequency identification technology uses radio waves to identify people or objects. So its applications are in pets and livestock tracking, inventory management, asset tracking, cargo and supply chain logistics, vehicle tracking, customer service, improved visibility and distribution in supply chain, shipping, healthcare, manufacturing, retail sales. Nanodiamond particle are utilized as diagnostic, imaging, and therapeutic agents in biomedicine. Compressed biogas plant. Here it is produced by biomass waste like agriculture residue, municipal solid waste, sugarcane press mud, distiller spent wash, cattle dung, sewage treatment plant waste. Okay, and this biogas is like contains 60% of methane, very important, 40 to 45% of carbon dioxide, and trace amount of hydrogen sulfide, right? Now this hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide has to be purified for to prepare compressed biogas. Now this removal or purification have different steps to produce compressed biogas, and those chemical and biochemical reactions are hydrolysis reaction, acidogenesis reaction, acetogenesis reaction, methanogenesis reaction. eKhata is a primarily cloud-based GST and VAT manageable accounting inventory payroll software. You have to remember this, what it is. Global Digital Compact is a comprehensive framework for global governance of digital technology and artificial intelligence. In New York, they adopted a pact for future that includes a Global Digital Compact. Refuse-derived fuel is a fuel made from waste such as municipal solid waste, industrial waste, commercial waste, and it is produced by processing the waste to change its chemical and physical composition, which can be used to generate electricity or a heat, which we can use it as an alternative to fossil fuels. Aerospatial SA-315B Lama is a French single-engine helicopter which possesses exceptional high altitude performance. It is its uniqueness, right? And it is built under license by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in India, known as Cheetah. So this is the unique feature of this topic. Remember this. Boeing H-64 Apache is an American twin turboshaft attack helicopter with tailwheel type landing gears. Here the manufacturer MC Donald Douglas, variants Augusta Wetland Apache. Uranium enrichment for fuel. Here 3 to 5% enrichment will be helpful for producing electricity, whereas 90% level of enrichment will be weapons grade or nuclear weapons grade refinement. ISRO in space and NSIL, there is 75 technology transfer agreements, and with that to non-governmental entities. The 5 technology transfer agreements were signed at InSpace E Bangalore with Anabond Limited, Salvo Industries Private Limited, Micropack Private Limited, Astra Microwave Products Limited. So it can be asked with whom this technology transfer agreements been done. Camran-1 is an Iranian low Earth orbit technology demonstration satellite, right? And this is to demonstrate of orbital maneuvering technology, including evaluation of cold gas propulsion subsystem and performance evaluation of navigation and status control subsystem. Australia's La Trobe University and India's Biotechnology Industry Research Association have signed a letter of intent to establish Bio-Innovation Corridor to support the development of research and innovation. Rajiv Gandhi combined cycle power project is set to launch a kind of a pilot project to generate electricity using methanol, right? This becomes the first of its kind initiative in India. And then the NTPC recently signed memorandum of understanding with the Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited to demonstrate methanol flaring in the plant's existing gas turbine system. So use of methanol is because it is a clean burning fuel that produces fewer harmful emissions than traditional fuels. The intuitive machines mission is to to place a Novak sea lander called Odysseus at crater Malapat A near the south pole of the moon. So it is very research intensive from different countries regarding south pole as concerned, and this is to commercially build a lander carried 5 NASA payloads and commercial cargo, and main objective is that to study the plume surface interactions and radio astronomy space weather interactions with the lunar surface. In vitro fertilization, it is a process of where egg is combined with sperm, where people who suffer from infertility kind of problems. So that's where in vitro fertilization technology comes into intervention, where they take the egg of the female and sperm of a male will be fertilized in a external laboratory conditions, where the process of women's and man's germ cells will form and fertilize and transform into zygote and undergo embryo culture for 2 to 6 days. Once it is developed at a stage where it can be placed in the uterus of the woman to let it to develop into a normal fetus. And these kind of technologies can be used not just for human infertility problems, but for animal infertilities, livestock improvements, gene transfer, increasing endangered species, obtaining embryonic stem cells. Fiber tracking navigation system is to enhance surgeons' knowledge of anatomy and experience, not to replace it. And the most common navigation system uses optical or electromagnetic tracking technology. Both tracking technologies have been found to be suitable for the every kind of demand of intraoperative navigation. So this kind of technologies improved the performance in surgery and reduced complication rates. Indigenous in vitro fertilization media SASTI. So vaccine maker Indian Immunological has launched indigenous in vitro fertilization media. Media is something which you use to maintain kind of laboratory experimental activity in a petri dish, and that media is SASTI. Is developed in collaboration with its parent National Dairy Development Board. So this is very important. So who developed this media? And this is what advancement in reproductive technology. In vitro fertilization is the experimental fertilization of male sperm and female egg, right? For doing that kind of laboratory experiment, this kind of media is required to maintain that kind of experiment. Pusha decomposer, it causes damage to other microorganisms present in the upper layer of the soil as well as its organic quality. So loss of these kind of microorganisms due to burning of crops, it has to be prevented, otherwise no health of the soil will be deteriorated and it will impact the crop yield. Pusha decomposer is a consortium of or a composition of 7 fungi developed on the basis of their lingocellulitic enzyme production potential. Polaris Dawn is a private crewed space flight operated by SpaceX, right? Applications of helium. Helium used to cool down magnets in MRI, and helium also used by divers for breathing in deep when they dive in waters or oceans. Helium is used to clean out its fuel tanks also, and it is also essential for making things like semiconductors and fiber optic cables. And another important application is that helium is a perfect for leak detection. Antimicrobial vaccine AVO328, and it is a Hyderabad based vaccine maker Bharat Biotech and clinical stage US biotechnology firm Alopex Inc. will collaborate to co-develop commercialize antimicrobial vaccine, that is AV0328 in India. It is a synthetic poly N-acetyl glucosamine, right? In phase 1, this is the first in man trial has been completed, so the vaccine found to be well tolerated and there is no serious adverse effects after this first stage, and induced antibodies were capable of killing very wide range of PNAG expressing pathogens. So mediated killing of these also includes several streptococcus pneumonia serotypes, including one not covered by current vaccines. So this is what the uniqueness of this antimicrobial vaccine of AV0328. India's Universal Immunization Program is a part of the reproductive and child health program under National Health Mission, and is one of the largest public health program in the world, under which a vaccine is being provided free of cost to all pregnant women and children. Vaccination can be availed against 12 vaccine preventable diseases, nationally against 11 diseases. That list is there: diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, polio, measles, rubella, and severe form of childhood tuberculosis, rotavirus, diarrhea, hepatitis B, meningitis, pneumonia caused by Haemophilus influenza type B, pneumococcal pneumonia subnationally against one disease, Japanese encephalitis. Vaccines is provided only in endemic districts. And now this UWIN platform captures each and every vaccination event all pregnant women, children under universal immunization program, right? Whatever this program is going on, this is monitored by UWIN platform. Metagenomics is a study of genetic material which are recovered from environmental or clinical sample by a method called sequencing, right? INS Arigat is a variant of Harianth class submarine. It is second nuclear powered ballistic missile made by India under Advanced Technology Vessel Project to build nuclear submarines at Shipbuilding Center Visakhapatnam. The Perseverance rover searches for signs of ancient microbial life to advance NASA's quest to explore the past habitability of Mars. So this is what the objective of Perseverance rover. Hydrogel is a cross-linked polymer chains with three-dimensional network structures which can absorb large amount of fluid, right? This is what the hydrogel is. So this hydrogel can be applied in the field of agriculture, biomaterials, food industry, drug delivery, tissue engineering, regenerative medicine. Okay. Codon de-optimization. It is not about optimization, it is in reverse de-optimization. So it is a tool to de-optimize what RNA or a DNA sequence. So what will happen if you de-optimize RNA DNA? The function of DNA and RNA is to produce some respective functional proteins and give the expression, right? Once you de-optimize those sequences responsible for producing those kinds of proteins, it will become less expression, right? So in this way, if you de-attenuate or de-optimize viruses to develop vaccines, this is the most important significant application of de-optimization. Here, Indian Immunological Limited develops needle-free COVID-19 intranasal booster vaccine, collaborating with Australian University. Next generation sequencing. It is sequencing of DNA or RNA, right? And variants and mutation detections. Now you have a database of all these things. What will the application of this thing is that you will able to diagnose disease and prognosis and make decision in therapeutic making for the patient. And also personalized precision medicine making. Here, Tamil Nadu-based space startup Space Zone has launched the country's first hybrid reusable rocket named Ruhim 1. So very important, this is reusable rocket. Here the digital general crop estimation survey, very interesting topic. And this is to precisely assess crop yield across variety of crops, right? Terahertz radiation, it is also known as sub-millimeter radiation, okay, and consists of electromagnetic waves. So it is a lower energy alternative to X-rays for producing high resolution images of the interior of solid objects. Automotive short range radar, a radar system operating around a car when in motion to detect possible impacts with obstacles such as other cars, walls, or pedestrians. Okay. Kakrapar Atomic Power Station is a nuclear power station in India at Tapi River in state of Gujarat. Anaerobic gas lift reactor for the generation of what biogas and biomanure from organic solid waste. And what is uniqueness is that this technology has superior in terms of biogas and biomanure production, which incorporates novel grit removal system and ammonia inhibition mechanism. Horseshoe crabs are marine and brackish water arthropods which are used or which horseshoe crab's blood of the horseshoe crab provides valuable medical products which are critical to maintaining the safety of many drugs and devices used in medical care. So here the horseshoe blood is very important in application. So what they do is they use this for testing the products for the presence of endotoxins, bacterial substance which can cause fevers and even fatal to humans. So that harm is tested in blood of horseshoe crabs. Here indigenously built drilling rig installed at ONGC unit. The Hyderabad based Mega Engineering Infrastructure Limited installed an indigenously built 2000 RPM hydraulic HP oil drilling rig, that is C3BR1, for the onshore operations of the oil and natural gas at Modikirur, and this rig can drill up to 6000 meters depth in high pressure. Then this indigenously built rig has a feature that could prevent blowout. Mammoth, a large carbon dioxide capture and storage facility technology, launched operation situated at dormant volcano and island. DART was the first ever mission dedicated to investigating and demonstrating method of asteroid deflection by changing its motion in space through kinetic impact. Stichling is ability to utilize plastic as their sole food source allows the stichling fungi to degrade plastic more efficiently. Here steel making technology, alloys such as those using titanium, niobium, which increases strength by stabilizing metals microstructure, right? This strengthening of microstructure is used in creating new steels for make safer and more fuel efficient cars.